And are you refreshed?
Yes.
Good. Now what?
"13 years ago, I was diagnosed with a chronic disease. And last year, my mom was diagnosed with the same thing. My question is, why do unexpected bad things happen when I didn't ask for it? 2 weeks I was sick, and then they diagnosed me, and my life changed ever since. My mom, a week into it, never had any symptoms or side effects, diagnosed with the same thing last Christmas. And her life is forever changed.
So your question is, we liked the way you worded it. Can you do it again?
Why do bad, unexpected things happen to people in general?
We like the way that you worded that because it is the unexpected word that is the key. When we talk about creation, deliberate creation, there is creation, deliberate creation, there's creation by default. And the majority of people, you're not alone in this, the majority of people are doing the majority of their creating by default. So we would like to put it into a different context. We would like to say, from a physical point of view, why would I offer vibrations that prevent me from experiencing the constant good, which is what I really seek? Or we would ask another question, how can I be more alert at earlier stages of resistance so that I can head it off when it's in an emotional state rather than waiting until it becomes a manifestational experience? Or is everything unwanted? Am I alerted to it in early stages? Or how can I be more sensitive to those early alerts? Or does it really matter where I'm at any point in time? Can I get from where I am to where I want to be at all times? In other words, you're getting because clearly there are two ways that we like you to look at it. Sometimes on your way to something that you really do want, you take a journey through something that you think you do not want. But we don't want to be heavy about that, because in teaching deliberate creation, we really want you to understand that you really can live a joyful life all the time. You're not going to like hearing this either, but we wouldn't spend any time trying to figure out why it isn't different than it is. Instead, we would take the power of the experience and we would use the poignancy of it to help us to determine what we now want as a result of. Sometimes some of the most significant clarity comes from exposure to more contrast than you think you want. And it's only after the fact that you say, oh, that was way worth it. And then we want to say, we don't think long, hard exposure to contrast is way worth it, and we don't think it's necessary, but how are you going to know that unless you've had some experience of it? And so we just can't get around the fact that you are the creator of your own experience, and that there are some things that you're creating without realizing that you're creating them, because after all, most people don't even recognize that they are vibrational beings and that they are attracting by virtue of their vibration. And what confuses more people about that than all of the other things put together is that they think that their words should mean more. And so people become accustomed to saying things that maybe that they're not feeling. It's like even a parent who is shouting at a child, don't you know I love you? In that moment is not displaying any vibration that's anywhere in the vicinity of love. So a child could become very confused about what the word love means in relationship to this feeling that they're getting while that word's being offered. And there's just a whole lot of that goes on. And so that's why we say to you that the universe is always carving out a path of least resistance for you. And the better you get at being sensitive to that, then the better it goes. And we would be eternally, no matter how it looks, looking for the positive aspect of whatever it is that we are living. Because it is only in the acceptance that there is positive out of it that you're ever going to find any. Helpful?
Well, there's been a lot of positive that has come out from that. I don't think that I would have done some of the things in my life that I've done now, as far as like stepping out of my comfort zone and leaving home from Alabama and coming all the way out here, changing careers, doing things that are just completely 180. And it's made me, because you only have one life to live, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Nothing like something like that to get you focused. Esther always says she shines in a crisis. And we say the reason she shines in a crisis is because it causes her to focus. But you don't need the crises to focus.
There has been a lot of good that's come out of it.
Yeah.
There a lot more than I expected. Things that I've wanted, like physical things that are tangible, I can get. It's just the unexpected of why this happened. It's just something that, I don't know how to answer that. Why did it happen? Why did it happen to her too? And
well, it's easier to understand with someone who's been observing it with someone else, because it was more active in her vibration, more logically active in her vibration. But there are bigger questions that let's probe here just a little bit. So why would I say something that I ultimately don't mean in the heat of an argument? That's a valid question, and it's as pressing and pointed as the question that you just asked. Now, we know it feels like it's a far stretch, but stay with us just a little bit. Why would I say something that I really, if I stop to think about it, don't mean in the heat of an argument? Well, it's because there was a momentum going that influenced the outcome in the moment, and I was either not aware of the vibration that I was offering, or I was willing to go along with it. And so the answer to the broader question, why does anybody get anything that they don't want unexpectedly, it's because they're not aware that they're thinking about things that they don't want. But then the question often comes back, but Abraham, I swear, I was not thinking about this. I was not saying this is something that I want or this is something that I don't want. That particular topic was not active in my vibration at all. And we say, but we're talking about this vibrational language. We're talking about how do things translate into your experience? Well, they translate from vibrations that you're chronically offering. And so we've been saying for quite a while that there are two ways of knowing what you're offering vibrationally in any moment. One is by the way you feel when you're offering it, especially once you get the hang of this. And the other is by what manifests. Because what you're offering and what flows into your experience always matches. There is never a vibrational variance between anything that anyone lives and what they're offering vibrationally, because the law of attraction just matches things up. So the disconnect has to come in, well, clearly I'm offering vibrations that I don't mean to be offering. And what could cause you to get better at offering vibrations in the way you mean to offer them than to realize that you've been offering vibrations in a way that you don't mean to? You see what we're getting at?